to conserve.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? This is Politics with Laura. I got a good one. Now, Democrats are just running on fumes of fear. Now, there's an old saying, what is good for the goose? It's always good for the gander. And people are saying that Trump is going to get back. He wants revenge. And the fact that people are saying that, it's a bit, how can I say, it's concerning. It's concerning that they know and were completely okay with Trump being railroaded and having all of these claims. Okay, it was basically identity politics running amok, and people were okay with it as long as they were supporting Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, as long as it was a Democrat to put forth the agenda that only focused on a certain segment of the population, and not even considering that this right here is for everyone, not just one small group of people. Now, oh man, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Let me start off with this. Normally, I don't start off like this, but let me start off with Joy Behar and the ladies from The View. And this is a very small clip. And I'm just thinking, did someone grow up? Listen.
Takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke.
Before I go any further, we don't live in a democracy, but that's neither here nor there.
This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises.
Wait a minute. She said something rather profound right there. She said about protesting. Now, when the Trump supporters in 2020 protested, they were insurrectionists. Remember that? So for Joy Behar, let me go back over that for one more time, just to make sure that I wasn't the only one that heard that. Just one more time.
Situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will.
Now, whenever Republicans talk about protesting or conservatives, you're insurrectionists, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that. But let her finish.
And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. But boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it.
Yeah.
Well, my take.
I find that quite interesting, really. I mean, we have our country if we can keep it. But they were trying to give the country away. Let me show you. This is another one. I'm just like, OMG. Where's it at? Now, this right here, this young lady. Okay, brace yourself. Wait a minute.
6 years. 6 fucking years. It took us 6 fucking years to get our citizenship. I know some people need more time. I know some people don't even know.
More time for what? More time for what? Now, here's the thing. She is totally having a complete meltdown. And I understand why. I understand why she's having a complete total meltdown. And I believe she's talking about her mother. Her mother and other people within her family. Now, I don't know if that right there applies to her, or if not her mother, then a family member. But when you come here incorrect, right? And then in the midst of that, you want to change your status. You didn't come like other people did, like other people around your area who came to the United States that got um the okay first. But you jump through and you're a line jumper. And then all of a sudden, when a president says, no, you have to come here correct. We gave you a door and you chose to make your own door. That's a problem. But she said some very interesting things.
Ever get their citizenship, but we worked so hard for it. She worked so hard for it. I was just a kid. We came here because she wanted a better life for us. She wanted a better education for us. She wanted for us to have a better future. And now this is all gonna be taken away because of him. Because of that stupid. Oh my god. Stupid fucking felon. He's a felon. He's a villain. He's a felon.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I find it interesting that she's calling Donald Trump a felon. Now, hold on. I want to make sure that I'm clear. I feel bad for her. I do. Because her family members put her in a bad position by them coming here again the way they did. They came here unlawfully. They came here breaking the law. Now they're like, well, they just walked across the border. It's okay. But you can't do that in any other country. And when you say, well, if I were to go to your country, illegally, would it be a problem? Well, yeah, it would be a problem. You can't come to my country like that. No, you can't. But the United States, it's like we have laws and the laws do not matter to you. But let her finish saying what she's saying. Uh-oh. I did not mean to do that.
6 fucking years. It took us 6 fucking years to get our citizenship. I know I know some people need more time. I know some people don't ever get their citizenship, but we worked so hard for it. She worked so hard for it. I was just a kid. We came here because she wanted a better life for us. She wanted a better education for us. She wanted for us to have a better future. And now this is all gonna be taken away because of him. Because of that stupid. Oh my god. Stupid fucking felon. He's a felon. He's a villain. He's a felon. I don't want him here anymore. I can't. I'm not coming back. I'm never coming back here until he leaves the house. He's ruining my life, her life, and the life of every single immigrant in this country. 6 years. 6 fucking years. It took us 6.
My heart goes out to her. My heart really does go out to her. It does. But like I said, as she was saying, the person that she's speaking of, and I'm not sure if it's her cousin, mother, or whatever, to give her a better life, more than likely her mother, to give her and whomever else she's speaking of a better life. Well, there's a way of doing that. And believe it or not, we are a land of laws. Follow the law. As Melania Trump says, I follow the law. That's simple. Now, the way I'm saying it, you may say, well, politics with law or PWL, you're kind of callous about it. Everybody doesn't come. She probably ran from a horrible country. Maybe like my ex-husband, he comes from Nicaragua, and he came with his father during a war back in the 80s. They came here through refugee. They didn't just come, walk on up here and say, hey, I need asylum. That's not how it happened. But I digress on that. But there's more. I'm just there's more. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Now this one right here is quite interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This one is quite interesting. Okay.
Okay, so since Trump won the election, we're cooked. Yup. I'm gonna be leaving the US and I'm gonna be moving to Hawaii. So
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh Lord have mercy! You can't make this up. He's leaving the United States and he's going to Hawaii. Now it's going to be quite interesting when he pulls out his passport saying, "I'm going to Hawaii." The fact that he said that with a straight face and being completely serious, I blame the educational system. Okay. Let him say it again. You can't make it up. We got to go up. We got to. Oh my goodness.
we're cooked. Yup. I'm gonna be leaving the US and I'm gonna be moving to Hawaii. So we'll see.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up. And then, wait a minute. And then you wonder why Donald Trump is talking about getting rid of the Department of Education. Did you just hear that? I think maybe the Department of Education may need to be disbanded. And matter of fact, maybe this might be more appropriate. I mean, maybe it might be because he's going to leave the United States and go to Hawaii. All right, but let him finish saying what he's saying. Let him finish.
See how it goes, and I'll update you guys.
You can't make that up. You truly can't. But there's something else I wanted to share. Is that it? Oh, yeah, this is it. Okay, this is true derangement. Okay.
Hey! Whoa. What, you worried I'm gonna stay in your fucking signs that are telling lies to people?
Look, the next time when liberal women say that women are oppressed, keep that lady right there in mind, okay? Because she's throwing stuff on people, unafraid, unencumbered to do things like that. But she's oppressed. Just okay. So when he said, "Oh, we're oppressed," no, hold on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Look at that. The entitlement.
You fucking try, you talk
But look,
to you, asshole.
coming back around because you don't agree.
I think we're good. Just we try to keep it. If you enjoy getting the stain out.
Oh no.
Hi.
Hello. Could you please not do that?
Why?
Because this is our stuff.
Can you please not do this?
We are allowed to table here. We actually have a permit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not touching you. I'm grabbing your phone.
Oh,
Well,
wait,
that's-
wait. Okay. A transgender woman. My bad. But still. Doing whatever. Now, if that were a conservative, the police would have been called, been thrown into the jail. I mean, everything under the sun. Everything under the sun would have happened to that person, but because this individual right here can do whatever, and it's completely okay because they're in their feelings. Just watch.
Yeah, you can't touch his phone.
I'm not touching your phone.
Yeah.
I'm covering the camera.
Okay.
You're not touching it. Why are you here?
Because we have a right to be here. Why are you here?
Because I have a right to be here.
Okay, so why are you damaging?
But the person this goes on to mess up their things because the person can. But this, now this is when I really, now I think this clip right here says it all. Now, these ladies right here said they say it all when it comes to Kamala Harris. Now, just listen and they'll explain it. Just listen. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah.
About Kamala Harris.
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared.
Okay. And what she's saying is absolutely correct. Putin would run circles around her. And actually, Putin said, I hope I endorse Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is in over her head. And they're going to continue explaining why they say what they're saying.
Because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America, because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy.
Right.
Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president,
that's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a Black woman, but yet she's locking up Black women and Black men and separating families.
This is a thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, Kamala Harris became Black.
Right.
Okay, now keep in mind, this is because she said something very important. She said that she was locking up parents and separating families, but that's what Kamala Harris said. Well, wait a minute. You have people coming here illegally and you're separating parents, but when it comes to Americans, you can separate families, throw them in jail. It doesn't matter. But when it comes to people that come here illegally, you give them the red carpet. But let her finish saying what she's saying.
When it was convenient.
Right.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about, do you
I didn't understand how this person claims to be a Black woman, but yet she's locking up Black women and Black men and separating families.
This is a thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, Kamala Harris became Black when it was convenient.
Right.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her Blackness?
Absolutely. When she's sworn to the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not Black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view, like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
And that's most definitely true. Kamala Harris, she did do that. She did the switch and bait. Now, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right there, but everything what she did to Americans, she was like, the illegal immigrants do not have to go through that. We're not going to separate families. Keep everybody together. And matter of fact, where's it at? This is how far she went.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Police report as many as 75% of The people they've arrested in Midtown Manhattan for assault, robbery, and domestic violence are illegal migrants.
Police have tracked down a killer whose crimes span the country. Rachel Marin was dragged from a hiking trail in Maryland where she was raped and murdered.
Police say Brandon Ortiz Vite used a handgun he bought illegally to shoot Ruby Garcia.
But you heard what she said, that illegal immigrants do not commit crimes. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And I only have to wonder, what is a Democratic true agenda? I don't know what it is, the true agenda, but you can't make it up. But however, the people spoke. But there's another thing I want to show you before I go into other things. Oh, here it is. Listen to this. People say, "Oh, Trump is a racist. He's a racist. He's a dirty racist." But let's hear Joe Biden. You can't make this stuff up. You truly can't.
Need any more nigger big shots? It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. They're going to put you all back in chains.
We are.
They were clips over the years, but Joe Biden, and whenever I talk to or even debate with Democrats, because I was a Democrat until, my eyes, all the scales fell off and I start seeing things as they truly are. Joe Biden has 40 some odd years in public office to demonstrate his racism. And he did. But Donald Trump, being a businessman, a private citizen, and they're saying, oh, because he, put out these three black ladies and for whatever reason, and then the Central Park Five, he had the same information that everybody else had. But they're like, but because he put out that the article saying that they deserve to be the death penalty. Now, they're saying it's only Donald Trump. You know how many people felt that way based on the information what was given out to the people? And it was so much so to where people were saying, well, he had information that we didn't have. I mean, they're just making up as they go along. My thing was this. Okay, if you want to say that what Donald Trump did was racist, but you never looked at the mayor that allowed that, the Democratic mayor that allowed this to happen. I broke this down on my previous video. The DA for Manhattan, I don't know which one it was, allowed it to happen. The detective allowed this to happen, allowed the boys to spend 13 years in jail until DNA came out and said, okay, they didn't do this. But Donald Trump was the racist, but you're not looking at the people that actually committed the crime, the public officials who had committed these crimes. But that was completely okay because Donald Trump is enemy number one, and we have to hate him for no matter what, and we could disregard what everyone else does. But it got even crazier. They said, well, people have said to me, well, as long as he apologizes for putting out that ad saying that those 5 black young men should have been put to death, as long as he apologizes for that, then I could vote for him. I'm like, identity politics, right? It gets crazy. It gets really crazy. But this is another thing I wanted to show you. Now, this is the reason why The ladies beforehand said that they didn't want Kamala Harris being president because, one, she never answers the question. And right here is real-time demonstration of her not answering a question.
Regarding the rapid increase in the migrant population, how will you ensure that every immigrant is integrated into American society safely? What benefits and subsidies will you provide them with? And how long will these benefits and subsidies last for an individual? Most importantly, will the American citizens' taxes pay for these benefits and subsidies? And if so, how much money will be allocated?
Well, thank you, Jackson. Let's start with this. America's immigration system is broken and it needs to be fixed. And it's been broken for a long time.
What does that have to do with all the tea in China? She doesn't answer. It gets worse. It gets worse.
And part of what we need to do is always prioritize what we need to do to strengthen our border. I will tell you, I'm the only person in this race among the two choices that voters have. I've personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations in the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career making sure.
Which doesn't answer a question. Now, look, how is she going to go up against Putin? How is she going to go up against Macron? How is she going to go up against, well, you know what happened with Zelensky when she went to go, to negotiate? What, 2-3 days later, next thing you know, Russian waters and ukulele country are fighting through her negotiations. That's okay. She has done enough damage as vice president. No, thank you. Matter of fact, the people said this. Put her right on out. Okay. But what she says, it gets worse.
Sure that our border is secure and that we do not allow criminals in and we don't allow that kind of trafficking to happen and come into our.
Now, she says that they don't let criminals in, but I just showed you a clip of her saying that the illegal aliens do not commit crimes. And then you see all these people committing crimes, giving you different examples of the crimes that they were committing. And if you go back last year, I did a video to where New Jersey and New York City redefined their punishment for committing crimes for illegal aliens. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. But finish telling her
our country. And as my opponent has proven himself, he would prefer to run on the problem instead of fix the problem.
You can't make it up. Okay, do I want to show this?
Former Chief of Staff John Kelly, a retired 4-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had.
I find this propaganda outrageous because they have been demonizing Donald Trump since he threw his hat back in the ring. They demonized him in 2016, and now they're still doing the hit job. But I'm going to try to tolerate as much as what she's saying because it's just outrageous.
Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him. He wants a military who will be loyal to him personally, one that will obey his orders.
Okay. Now, let me add a little. Oh, no. Make sure. Okay, the connection's good here. Okay. Now, let me add a little context to what she's saying, because she's basically saying that he wants people to be loyal to him. Right now, they have unsealed some Okay, how can I say this? Okay, I want to make sure I'm accurate. Department of I'm sorry, the DoD, Department of Defense. They're trying. It has been said, it's been exposed that they're trying to find ways to circumvent Donald Trump's orders when he gets in office. Now that happened in 2020 when he gave the orders to bring the National Guards to where they guard the nation, and they circumvented his orders. So when they say, "Oh, for him, for them to be loyal to him," no, for the Department of Defense and other departments to be loyal to the country. That's how I look at it. And I hope that's true. I hope greatly that right there's true. But let her finish saying what she's saying.
Orders, even when he tells them to break the law or abandon their oath to the Constitution of the United States. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within, and even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens. And let's be clear.
And again, right there is not true. That isn't true. Not the military. Now you have the military that goes abroad, and then you have the National Guards and even the Coast Guards that guard the coast. The National Guards deal with what goes on within the interior of the United States. And it's just really hard when she's just saying all this stuff that isn't true. But however, let me leave it right there because it's just too much propaganda throwing out there that is beyond comprehension. Let me see. Is there one more thing I wanted to show? Okay, no, not this. Okay. Okay, not that. Okay. Now, these people are scared. These people are very scared. Democrats are very scared. Now, I find it quite interesting. Let me take that down. I find it very interesting. Oh, no, did I take down the right thing? Okay, yeah, I did. I find it interesting that Jack, where's he at? Jack Smith. I thought I brought his picture up. Jack Smith dropped all the charges against Trump. Now he's a special prosecutor that was brought in by Biden to investigate Trump. Now that Trump won, and you can't go after a sitting president, but I found it very interesting that Trump said, as soon as I get in, he's fired. But he also said, do not touch any of the evidence that you have. You keep everything right there. Don't you shred nothing, because I want to see exactly, well, not want to, but he wants a special prosecutor to investigate what Jack Smith was doing. I mean, you could go back. I mean, and all of this, and this is simply my opinion, that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were behind all of this to go after Donald Trump. Because now, and some people would say, politics with Laura, you're being a little bit conspiratorial. Just because you say that it's conspiratorial doesn't mean that it's not true. Conspiracy simply means that there's a criminal activity afoot by two or more people to commit a crime. That's what the conspiracy is. It doesn't mean that it's a lie. Okay? But let me see. Where is it at? I wanted to bring something up. And where is it at? Oh, before I bring that up, Biden wants to Trump proof the presidency. I mean, you can't, this guy, you can't make this stuff up. You truly can't. If this were a sitcom, oh my goodness. Now here, by The Guardian, Trump proof the U.S. democracy. Activists say there is a sense of urgency. Now, what exactly are they trying to Trump-proof democracy? Now, number one, let me say this again, because it seems like that the more you tell a lie, the louder you tell a lie, the more people believe it. The United States is not a democracy. I mean, okay, let's do this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, not to the democracy, to the republic in which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. I mean, some of us, it was pounded into our heads that we are in a republic. One vote, one person. It was pounded into us. All of a sudden, they took it out and did a lot of strange things. But we are not a democracy. Now, here, I mean, some of the stuff I thought was a little wild. Let me see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now here, such events can continue to be among the ceremonial duties of the lame duck president with waning influence. Joe Biden has a diminished figure in recent months, first surrendering his chance to seek re-election, then find himself sidelined by the doomed presidential campaign with his vice president, Kamala Harris. Now, I was like, ouch, 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 ouch. Now, even though that's very true, but that is, I find interesting is that even though that right there is very true, when people were of concern would say, hey, Joe Biden, his mental capacity is diminishing. I mean, you see this, and then you have people saying, like The View, Whoopi Goldberg said, well, I don't care if he's in a coma, I'm going to vote for him anyway. And you have all these people say, he's fine, I'm going to vote for him. But once he stepped down, all of a sudden, Donald Trump is old. He doesn't need to run while protecting Joe Biden. It was quite interesting how they just did mental gymnastics. I mean, just jumping all over the place. Very interesting. But for the Kamala Harris campaign, we find out that a lot of people got paid. So, all right. So here, there's something else I wanted to bring up. Okay, here. But with his legitimacy imperiled, man, that's rough. By Donald Trump, the president is facing to call to mitigate the oncoming storm. Now, I don't know if you remember, and I'm sort of remembering when Donald Trump was president back between 2016 and 2020, when he said there's calm before the storm. And then there were reporters saying, well, what do you mean by that? He said, it will come, just watch. So I find that quite interesting for them to even put that down and to mitigate the oncoming storm. Okay. The advocacy group said Biden, who turned 82 this week, still can take action during the final months in office to accelerate spending on climate, healthcare, secure civil liberties. Civil liberties for whom? It sure enough isn't for the veterans that are getting zero help. So in order for civil liberties to occur, you have to be an illegal alien. You can't even be a United States citizen. You can't even be a United States naturalized citizen. And if you hold a green card, you get zero help. And Trump proof at the least, some fundamentals for U.S. democracy. So I just was like, what? This is really, really wild because they're really going out of their way. But it doesn't stop there. He says Trump's signature campaign promises what is a draconian crackdown on illegal immigrants. Now, draconian, really? So the laws really? Okay. He has been nominated officials, including Tom Homan and Stephen Miller, the architect of the family separation. Okay. Now look, let's bring a little sanity because they're throwing mud into the water. Now, let's say you're driving down the street, right? And you're in a car with your children as you're driving, right? And then you get stopped by the police and they want to search your car, but you say no. Then there's a little kerfuffle. And then once they get you out of the car, not only did you, let's say not show your ID, and let's say that not only you didn't show your ID, but you didn't show proof of insurance. And matter of fact, you were driving on a suspended license. And then they say, okay, you did all of these things, so you're going to go to jail, and your children, if you could bring somebody here to come get them, or if not, then they're going to go into whatever care happens until you get out to be able to take care of your children. That's child family separation. Now, you broke the law. Now, when you cross the border, you're breaking the law because we have no idea who you are. You weren't vetted. You didn't show no ID. Heck, we don't even know what school you went to. But I digress on that point. Let me go ahead and finish this. But here, crackdown on the southern border during the first term and vowed to use the U.S. military, which is a lie. Now, remember, if you don't, I remember this. I remember when Barack Obama signed into law that the news can lie to you. He put that into law that the news can lie to you. So then if the news can lie to us, then how do we trust them? Or if that right there was what he was supposed to do, Barack signed that into law to where the news can lie to us and we have to accept it. Okay. The U.S. military to carry out mass deportation in undocumented migrants. The plans include the mandate detention, potentially trapping immigrants in inhumane condition for years as they fight deportation. You can't make this stuff up. The U.S. Civil Liberties Union is also, leading the opposition efforts, urging the Biden to halt the current expansion of the immigration and the custom enforcement ICE detention facilities. And he's like, oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Just, illegal immigrants cannot be placed in inhumane detention like jail. Do you know that we have 2-3 million people that are held in inhumane place? The The way that they're fighting for illegal immigrants is wild. I mean, it's really wild. It's like, and the fact is this, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. If the illegal immigrants were living in their area, which they are not in the middle class or upper middle class. Matter of fact, when what's his name? Governor Abbott sent the illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, they lasted no more than 30 minutes. Guess who got them? The National Guards. They came in, scooped 50 of them, scooped them up, and took them out. And guess who lived there? Barack Obama. These are his policies. They're right for America, but not right for where I live. I don't want those people living next to me. I don't want them around. I don't even want their feet on my soil where I paid. I mean, the hypocrisy is staggering. It is staggering. Oh my goodness. Now, you know, the View is talking about, oh, illegal immigration is horrible. Let them stay. Let them live in your area. Because look, you're going to see my face when I see this. Say this. I live in a sanctuary city, and it's not fun. I'll leave that alone. But okay, what else I want to? Okay, there's something else that I want to talk about. Okay, dozens of people have died in ICE detention. Okay. And that's terrible. Mostly owned and operated by private prison corporations over the past 4 years, according to the ACLU, about 95% of the deaths would have been possible or deaths would probably have been prevented by appropriate medical care being provided. Yet the Biden administration has backed the new ICE detention facilities in states where they did not exist before, such as Kansas, Wyoming, and Missouri. Quite interesting. Very interesting. But there's something I want to talk a little bit about. And that right there is Kamala Harris. I mean, I find it interesting how she raised over $1 billion for her campaign. Now, she raised the most money in history, but lost, as Donald Trump would say, lost bigly. Okay. Then she was $20 million in the red. And then she starts spilling the beans. Well, I paid Oprah Winfrey. I paid her company. I paid Al Sharpton's company. And right there is showing, for me, I always knew there was something wrong with Al Sharpton. He didn't sit well with me. I couldn't understand what it was. But now he has been linked to the Democratic Party and Al Sharpton. If you don't know who he is, we always called him hair perm. Al Sharpton, him. Action Network, he's going out, police brutality, somebody black died by the police. He doesn't go into black areas saying, okay, we got to stop black on black crime. No, he doesn't do that. Reverend Al Sharpton doesn't do that. What he does is he only focuses on white police officers killing black people, but he doesn't talk about black people killing black people. He doesn't even do that. He's like, okay, well, we can come together and we can make, does he do a prayer vigil for somebody black who killed somebody black or somebody black? I mean, whatever the issue is, he only focuses on white people. That's it. Let's get those racists. Get them. Let's get them. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is what he does. What he does is he's like, okay, it's only white police officers. You might want to expand things. But since now Kamala Harris showed how her campaign, Oprah Winfrey got like, what, $4 million? Then where is he? Oh, I didn't bring him up. Okay, I thought I did. Al Sharpton got $1 million? Roland Martin, he's upset because he got $300,000. He's like, they got more money than me. And I got the black people's ear. Roland Martin, no, you don't. Let me see if I can find him. But all these people are being exposed. People are, she told, she's like, wait a minute, I'm not going to JAIL for no one. I'm not doing that. I'm telling where I spent the money. And then, I find it quite interesting how she's like, oh, well, I didn't have the ability to run my campaign the way I wanted to. I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute, you're saying that you can't run the campaign the way you wanted to, and you want us to allow you to run this country? You want us to allow you to run this country, and you can't run your own campaign. You are out of your freaking mind. But this right here, he's Roland Martin. That's Roland Martin. He was upset. And he's like, I did my part. You only gave me $300,000. And then here's a great part. Roland Martin said, well, I have to pay for advertisement. Now, I don't, and lies. But my thing is this. I don't mind politicians paying podcasters or whatever. I don't mind them paying it as long as they say, hey, my name is Roland Martin and this is a paid advertisement. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to ask the tough questions. I'm going to ask the tough questions. He gave her softball questions, and Kamala Harris stood the true form. Well, my mother worked hard and got us into a middle class area, and she worked. I mean, that was it. But now it's going to be quite interesting because segueing to Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis, the gift that keeps on giving. I thought Amber Heard was a gift that keeps on giving. And believe me, she still is. But Fannie Willis, she won again. I don't know how she won. Keeping people imprisoned, didn't let them out. She's a DA of Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County. And all that money that was shifted from the people that it was supposed to go to, that was to stop crime prevention as far as gang prevention. And she put that money into wealthy people for classes, people from around the United States. That money went into her boyfriend's pocket, Nathan Wade. And he told when Jim Jordan was talking to him, because Nathan is a slippery guy. And the Judiciary Committee boxed him in such a small corner that we had to say, well, yeah, Fannie gave me the money. Yeah, she did. Yeah, we had a relationship. Yes, I cheated on my wife. Yeah, my wife was sick. I didn't give her nothing. I didn't do it. Yeah, Fannie and I, we went to Belize, which there's a lot in Belize. And I still believe, I'm trying to find proof that there is a connection between Fannie Willis and P. Diddy. There's something there. I'm just trying to find that little piece of light so I can say, got it. Now, let me just say this about P. Diddy. P. Diddy, he brought a whole lot of crime to Belize. Like Belize didn't have any, it's not like Belize didn't have enough problems already, but he brought a whole lot. And car trafficking happened to be in Belize when he got there. And P. Diddy bought 2 houses in Belize, 2 big mansions. So Fannie Willis was over there. Her and Nathan Wade went there on vacation. I'm not saying that Belize doesn't have anything to offer. It's a beautiful place. But Shine, P. Diddy's former rapper, trying to be the prime minister, said, "Oh, it's a narco state. It's a narco state." Well, Shine, you knew it was a narco state. You knew it, and you made it worse by having P. Diddy there. Now, Shine, when he needed to get his record expunged because they made a law saying if you committed any crime anywhere in the world, you cannot be prime minister of Belize. He went around to all the Democratic people, and all of a sudden his record was expunged. But there's a whole lot there. A whole lot. So now people are suggesting that Trump is on a get back. He wants revenge. The fact that this doesn't make any sense. The fact that you're saying that Trump wants revenge, the fact that you're okay that the public servants that we pay was doing all of this and you were okay with it because it was Donald Trump. Now you're concerned that Donald Trump is going to get back. It's not get back. It is righting a wrong. If Jack Smith, who dropped all charges, and Trump's like, wait a minute, you drop the charges, but don't you shred a thing, and have Jack Smith investigated, because he does need to be investigated. Now, what's her name? Letitia James, she is shaking in her boots. Well, no, let me take that back. Letitia James, she should be concerned. She should be concerned. Alvin Braggs should be concerned. He should be concerned. Fannie Willis doesn't have enough sense to be concerned. Because they're saying, oh, well, Donald Trump said, that he won and Joe Biden didn't win. Let's investigate him. Voter this, voter that. And when you look at what the Democrats did, they actually did not only voter fraud, bringing people that weren't even citizens of this country to vote. And you see it. You see. Clean the glasses. You were able to see what they were doing. But Democratic supporters are okay with that. Now, one thing about being an independent, we don't have any allegiance to any party, but we see that our country is being thrown to the wolves and we have a problem with it. Now, when you have some Democrats that are so far into identity politics that you're able to overlook and like, oh, well, it's okay. Joe Biden's a well-meaning guy, even though that people who were not from this country voting for him, it's okay. But Donald Trump shouldn't do anything about it, and he should let bygones be bygones, even though that Joe Biden did send Letitia James after Donald Trump and Alvin Bragg, that was reportedly and proven to be a stooge of George Soros, that his children came out and said that they gave money into slush funds to go after Donald Trump, but that's okay too. And also Fannie Willis, to go after him for RICO charges for, I have to go back and look. But now Letitia James, Alvin Bragg's, their sentencing has been put on hold. Very interesting. Very interesting, but it seems like that as long as, oh, no. Oops. Okay, my computer almost went. But the fact that Joe Biden can do no wrong as long as he gives you what a small group of people want. Now, they're campaigning on, okay, I'm not going to get into that, but it's just quite interesting the way things turned out. Now it's going to be very, very interesting what happens January 20th when the exchange of power, how that turns. I wonder if the liberals are going to be down there busting stuff up. Would that be considered insurrection? Because they're wild. They are a wild group. I mean, goodness gracious, there's some dangerous people. Humble opinion. My humble opinion. I could, because in DC, they're down here boarding up businesses because they know it's going to happen. It's going to go down. They know they're boarding up businesses. It's really something. I need to go down there and take pictures and put it up so you all can see it. But it's something. It is very something. And the fact that Joe Biden, they're saying that Joe Biden must Trump-proof the U.S. democracy. I already said that we're not a democracy, but okay. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe. Please push that like button. Please do that and subscribe. Help me get to 5,000 followers and subscribers. And also, I do have a membership that I go deeper into things.